Hello and welcome. I'm Cheryl. This is Your Journey Yoga. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Today we are going to spend some time working with blocks and straps. So a block and a strap, if you do not possess a yoga strap or a yoga block, you can improvise. Anything that will help bring the floor up to you, a book, a Tupperware, be as creative as you like. So something that's sturdy, so something that's flat on the bottom, not too heavy, that's easy to maneuver around. And then the strap, you can use a belt, you can use a sock, you can use a tie, you can use a towel. So anything, just be creative. Something that you can use to kind of wrap around your foot or to drop down your back to work with shoulders. So just something, again, that's easy to maneuver around. So to start today, we're going to take our block, your book, whatever it happens to be, or you don't need any tools whatsoever. We're just going to walk those hands forward, and we're going to take that block kind of at its mid-range, and we're going to walk those hands forward. And if you don't need the block at this point, that's absolutely fine. This is actually just a really nice shoulder stretch as we keep those arms up a little bit and let that head just sink. And depending upon kind of where you are in your day and how much tension, tightness you tend to hold on to, this stretch can be fairly intense, or it can just be an, oh, feels so good. So just be mindful. And if at some point you want to set that block aside, you're welcome to do that. We're just going to let gravity do the work here for us. Slow, steady breaths. And you can go ahead and leave that block and circle the arms around back by your hips. Big circle of those arms overhead. Reach it up nice and tall. And release your hands down by your sides. Now let's take that strap, and we're going to take a hold of that strap. And you can take your grip as wide as you want to take it. If you have super tight shoulders, guys, go a little bit wider. So what we really want to focus on is keeping those arms as straight as we can. So we take those arms up and back, and we're going to take them back as far as we can get them. And if by chance you can come all the way around behind, fantastic, no worries. We just want to make sure that we are not bending the elbows to make that happen. So keeping those arms as straight as you can, we just want to get that good stretch through the chest and through those arms. So if you don't go all the way around, it's really not a big deal. That's not all part of it. It's just a test kind of that range of motion through that ball and socket joint of your shoulders. So we take that strap down, tapping the knees, take it up and back as far as it'll go. If it'll go all the way around, fantastic, no worries. Just take it back as far as it'll go and get that great stretch. Now there should be absolutely zero pain, guys. There should be a good stretch. And just kind of notice where that is and if it's on the up or the down. Should be feeling a pretty good stretch through the chest, through the shoulders, strong through that belly. Let's do that one more time. Back up, and let's hold it up. And let's lean to the right, using that right hand to pull. So stability. Yep, those obliques are kicking in. Beautiful stretch down the side of the body. Now, if you like, slide that hand down the strap. Let's take it up and over, and that strap's just going to bend. No worries. That's what we want. Just keep reaching. Now let's take it up. Adjust those hands, and let's take it to the left. Lean, 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 lean. Use that left hand to pull that right arm. Using those obliques to keep us steady and strong. Sliding that left hand down. Let's take it up and over. Yep, that strap's going to bend. And so are we. That right sit bone's just going to stay connected to the mat. Nice big deep breaths, guys. Inhaling it back up nice and tall. And let's bring that strap down, set it aside, and let's come forward up onto all fours. Tabletop, hands are shoulder width apart, knees are hip width. Let's take it into cat and cow. Big breath in, belly towards the floor. Lift your gaze, lift your sit bones to the sky. And exhale, hollow the tummy and chest. Lift your spine, tuck your chin to cat. Mobility through that spine, inhaling it back to cow. Exhaling it to cat. And again, inhale it to cow. Let's do one more each direction. And exhale it to cat. And coming back to that neutral spine, we sit it back to child's pose. Extend those arms out nice and long. Hips back towards your heels. Forehead towards the mat. Now, if you have tighter quadriceps, or if you're taking special care of your knees, place that block kind of down by the heels, right at the calves. And so your bottom has something to kind of rest on. You can also use a pillow or a blanket, a towel, for that kind of support if the block isn't uber comfortable. Just breathe. Working to the point where we can release that block and just let your bottom settle down. Find your breath. Now let's make sure that block is handy. Don't need it just yet, but we will. Extending those arms out nice and long, hands shoulder width apart, spread your fingers wide. Let's lift the forehead, tuck the toes, press and lift your hips to the sky. Coming up to downward facing dog. It's the first time I come up to my down dog, my body just goes, oh yes. Because it just feels amazing. Down the backs of the legs, what a great stretch. Activating the muscles and the core in those shoulders. Let's transition between high plank and down dog a couple times. So we inhale it to high plank or high push-up position, shoulders right over those fingertips. And then exhale, lift those sit bones to the sky, press it back, heels towards the mat as best you can. Inhaling it back to that high plank. Exhale back to down dog. Let's do one more. Inhaling to plank. And exhaling to down dog. Shifting your weight to your left foot, right toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that right foot through between the hands. Find your block. Let's place that back knee to the mat. And we're going to set that block at its mid-range. So it's long side against the mat. If you're needing a little extra, come up onto that top side of the block, slightly forward, and we lift right hand to that right thigh. So a little support. You can take it out a little bit wider. You can have it nestled in kind of where your left foot would be if you were standing. And we're going to lean in and breathe. Find that breath. Right elbow just off to the side, out of the way, leaning in to get that big stretch in that right hip and down the front of that left leg. Now we're going to bring both hands to the inside, so I'm going to shift my block so that the bigger side is facing front. If you're feeling, yep, I can come down a little bit more. Transition down to that midpoint once again. And if you like, yep, you can transition down so that that block is flat. Right against the mat. Breathe. Now, if you like, tuck the back toes and lift that back knee. Too much, just bring that back knee down. If you need to adjust and move that block, adjust it as far up as you need to come. Breathe. Now we want to make sure that that's good and stable, so we don't risk kind of wobbling and falling off of that block. That's not a very good support then. Breathe. If you like, planting that left hand to the top of the block, we rotate and reach, lifting. So there's not a ton of weight on that left hand. Really use those core muscles to stabilize and to reach, and then slowly lower that right arm straight back. Reaching out through the fingertips, taking your gaze out towards that right thumb. Breathe. Slowly release your hand down. Let's bring the hands back to the block, back knee to the mat, untuck those toes. Set the block in front, out of the way, one hand on either side of your foot, tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend right leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. And let's alternate bending knees. Walk it out. Find that breath. As you exhale, let both heels sink. Once again, we transition between our high plank and our down dog. Inhaling it to plank. Exhaling it to down dog. 2 more times. Keeping that core strong. Moving between these two poses, noticing the shoulders, the hips, the legs, the core. Last one. And we meet back in down dog. Shifting your weight to your right foot, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left foot through. Between the hands, back knee to the mat. Untuck those toes. Take your block. And again, you decide what level is right for you. We lift the chest and place that left hand to the thigh, right hand to the block, and lean in. Find your breath. So always keeping that core strong to make sure that we're not heavily leaning on that block. We really want to work to strengthen. If it feels right, yep, transition it down one step. If you're like, wow, that's a little more than I wanted, come back up. If you're like, man, that feels pretty good, and I think I'm ready to come down, take it down. That left elbow is just kind of off to the side. Breathe. Again, staying strong, making sure we're not sinking into that right shoulder. Breath slow and steady. We're just present, guys. We're here within wherever we need to be today. We're not pushing too far. If it feels right to you, tuck the back toes and lift that back knee. Ooh, yeah. Find that breath. Feel that great stretch down the front of that right leg. If you need to transition a little higher on your block, make it happen. Again, just be mindful that it's not super wobbly, okay? So keeping that core strong. Want you to stay safe. Breathe. So we're going to add that rotation, guys. So you decide where you want to be on that block, and we rotate and extend. Left arm to the sky, reach it up. Find that breath. And let's slowly lower that left arm straight back. Gazing back towards that left thumb. Reaching and extending through the fingers. And slowly releasing that hand down. Once again, we bring that back knee down. Untuck those toes. One hand on either side of your foot. Step or set your block aside, tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend. Left leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. And let's sway those hips side to side. Coming back to center. Take the gaze between your hands. Walk your feet in to forward fold. And just relax the weight of the upper body. Here, great opportunity for that block. If we're bringing that floor up towards the hands, yes. Now let your head be heavy. Again, as you progress, we just shift that block down one step, allowing that upper body to sink with gravity, taking it down to that flat level. Just being mindful that we're not locking out those knees. And then at some point, maybe we set that block aside. Find that breath. Now we're going to set that block aside and we're going to bring the hands to the elbows and gently sway side to side. So we don't want to be touching the floor at this point. We want to sway right along it. Big deep breaths. Coming back to center. Release your arms. Take a hold of your strap. And let's bring it with us as we roll it on up. Stacking each vertebra one at a time. With a big shoulder roll at the top. Shoulders slide down and away. Do that shoulder roll once again. Strap in one hand. And just let those shoulders slide down and away. Breathe. Relax the shoulders. Nice job. Let's take that strap, make it long. We're going to take it in our right hand and we're going to drop it down the back of the body. Reaching up with that left hand, taking a hold of that strap just as high up as you can get it and gently pull. So as we pull down, we're going to draw that right hand down the center of the back. Nice stretch for the shoulder, for the tricep. And we're going to kind of move our hand up our strap as it feels ready to. Object being, at some point, maybe we find those fingertips And maybe at some point, we can lock them. Breathe. So by locking those fingertips, now we just use that left arm to pull down with that hand, chin staying off the chest. Find your breath. And again, we just use that strap, guys. That's our avenue to progression. And as you exhale, lean to the left. Breathe. Inhaling it back up and exhaling to the right. Just a nice lateral flexion. Inhaling it back up nice and tall. Releasing that left hand, extending the right, reach up, take a hold with that left hand, let that strap just gently drop down the back, and bend that left elbow. Right hand circles around, taking a hold of that strap. Breathe. Use that right hand to gently pull, deepening that stretch through that tricep on that left side, through the shoulder. And we're going to slowly walk that hand up the strap as it feels right to you. And at some point, maybe we can lock those fingertips. It might not be today, guys. It might not be this week. It's okay. These tools, guys, these assistants that we use, the block, the straps, towels, blankets, pillows, bolsters, it's avenues to help us progress at our pace. As you exhale, lean to the right. So grateful to have these tools to help us along the way, to stay true to where we are in our practice. Inhaling it back up nice and tall, and as you exhale, lean to the left. Just breathe. And inhale it up nice and tall, releasing that right hand, extend the left, reach around, and let's now take that strap a hold behind us. Now you can wrap those hands if you like. If there's too much strap, you can fold it in half so that you don't have it walking around everywhere. Take a big breath in, and we're going to bring those hands together as close as we can. And then as you exhale, arch it back. Reach your knuckles towards the floor. Gaze to the sky. And inhale it up nice and tall. Core is strong, hinging forward. A soft bend in those knees. Relax the weight of your head. So we can have those hands as close as we like or as far apart as we like. We're going to roll those shoulders up and back and lift the hands towards the sky. So ultimately we're working to get those fingers interlaced and to bring those palms to touch. Again, that may or may not happen today or this week. Don't judge, don't criticize, guys. Celebrate where you are, be present wherever you are within the stretch, and really listen to your body. Slowly bring the hands to the small of the back. We lengthen through the crown of the head, core strong, hinge it all the way back up. And as you exhale, arch it back, reach those knuckles down towards the ground. And inhale it up nice and tall. Releasing your hands. Let's go ahead and release that strap. Roll those shoulders up and back. Turn the palms to the front. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. And exhale to down dog. We bend that right knee, left heel presses towards the mat. Switch sides, left knee bends, right heel down. And just gently alternate, bending knees, walk it out. As you exhale, let both heels gently sink. We shift our weight to our left foot, right toes to the sky. Exhale and sweep that right foot through. Back heel to the mat, windmill your arms up, grab that block to warrior two. So we're going to take that block in that right arm and extend it out nice and long. Breathe, reaching through those fingertips, gazing out over that top center of the block. And we're going to take that block right along the outside edge of our foot. Again, we can be on the tallest part, and we're going to reach that left arm to the sky. Reaching up, lengthening and extending. If you like, shift to that mid-center of that block or to that low part of that block. We can be up on our fist. We can have our fingertips just touching it. You can be flat on your hand. Lengthen and reach. Now rotate that left palm towards the front. Reach it up and over. So the next progression, we set that block aside. Fingertips are touching. You can come down onto your palm. Find that breath. Lengthen and reach through those left fingertips. Breathe. And let's inhale. If we've got that block, bring it back up with us to warrior two. Straightening that front leg. Back arm onto the back leg. Turn the block to the top and sweep it up and back. So if we don't have the block, guys, it's absolutely fine. We can take a hold of it as we come into our next pose. And we inhale it back up. Arms extend out to a T. We reach out, opening hips, chest, and shoulders to the side, lowering that right arm down. Place that block down and extend. Left arm to the sky. Triangle. Lengthening and extending out of the shoulder. Strong through that belly. And again, we can shift different levels within our triangle, finding what's right for you. Breathe. As you exhale, releasing that left hand down, when we're going to shift that block to the inside of your foot, as high of a level as you need. Adjust however you like. Adjust your feet if you need to. And we rotate, extending right arm to the sky. Revolve triangle. So again, we can start to shift. As you progress, adjust that block right along the inside of your foot. Find your breath and slow it down. As you exhale, slowly release that right hand down. Set your block aside. Bend that front knee. Back heel comes off the mat to a runner's lunge. Find your breath. Now we can bring the block back underneath that back knee if you like. And bring that knee down, untucking the toes. If you don't need the block, keep it just off to the side, out of the way. Find your breath. As you exhale, lift your hips, sweep it back. Extend right leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. We inhale it to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And exhale to down dog. And we shift our weight to our right foot. Left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left foot through. Back heel to the mat. Grab your block. Windmill those arms up to warrior two. Gazing down that front center of the block. Arms extended out. Find that breath, opening hips, chest, and shoulders to the side. Breathe. Now we're going to place that block right along the outside edge of your foot. Again, as wherever you like it, as high as the block needs to be. And we're going to take that right arm up and over, reaching out, lengthening, extended side angle. Where does that block need to be for your best success? To feel that greatest stretch, but to honor wherever your body needs to be. So again, that next progression, yep, that block disappears. Fingertips or palm to the mat, lengthening and reaching through those fingertips. So you should feel this amazing stretch all the way down that right side of your body. So making sure that block is close if you set it aside. Let's take a hold of that block And windmill those arms back up. Straightening your front leg, back arm onto the back leg, turn the block or your palm to the sky, sweep it up and back. Reverse triangle. Right hand sliding down that back leg, left fingertips reaching. And let's inhale it back up, placing that left hand to the inside of the foot or outside. You decide what's right. And extend right arm to the sky, triangle. So again, that block can be at the highest point, midpoint, low point. You decide. Strong through the core, so we're not really leaning on that left hand. The block is just there to bring the floor to us, not to give us something to lean on. I want you to feel that strength in your belly. Find that breath. Feel that extension out of the shoulder. And as you exhale, slowly release that right hand down. We're going to shift that block to the inside of your foot. If it's already there, you don't need to shift it. And adjust those feet however you need to, rotating your body and extend. Left arm to the sky, reach it up, high as you can reach. Now you might notice that one side, maybe the block can be a little bit lower. Maybe you need to come up a little bit. Breathe. So just like we prefer to write with one hand, use scissors, eat with one hand, you're going to notice that one side of your body is ready to come a little bit deeper, and it might feel a little more natural than the other side. It's all good, guys. It's all part of the journey. Exhaling and slowly releasing that left hand down. One hand on either side of your foot. Front knee bends, back heel comes off the mat. Go ahead and set that block aside. If you'd like to put it underneath that back knee and bring your knee to the mat or to the block, absolutely great idea. Lessening that stretch, taking care of our bodies. If you don't need it, yep, just set it aside, out of the way. Removing that block if you've used it. Extending that right leg, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend. Left leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. Let's inhale it to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And exhale to down dog. Nice big deep breaths here. Working those heels towards the mat. Lengthening through the fingertips. Head heavy, face soft. Exhaling, taking the gaze between your hands. Walk your feet in to forward fold. Now grab your strap. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And exhale, release those arms down by your sides. So we're going to take our strap and we're going to loop it halfway. You can also, if you have a yoga strap, you can make it so you have your loop. I just find it easier to leave it just a halfway. So we're going to come to our dancer's pose. I'm going to take a hold in my right hand of that strap, leaving the loop down below. And I'm going to take the loop, I'm going to put my foot, my right foot in it. Extending left arm to the sky. I'm going to slowly transition my weight to my left foot as I lift my right foot and bring that strap up and over my shoulder. Finding that breath, slowing it down. Now I'm going to slowly press my foot into the strap and I'm going to lift my arm as I hinge forward. Breathe. So I'm lifting that foot, finding that breath. You need to flex your foot a bit. If you like, you can take a hold with both hands and use the strength to extend those arms, to lift that foot. Core is strong. Breathe. Now ultimately working to start to draw those hands down the strap to bring that foot close enough to be able to take a hold of that foot and release the strap entirely. Breathe. And slowly we come out of our dancer's pose. Once again, releasing the intensity with the strap, bringing that strap around to release your foot. Nice job. We get to do the other side. So left hand takes the strap. We come down, placing that left foot into the strap. Right arm extends to the sky, and we shift our weight to that right foot. As you're ready, lifting that left foot, bringing the strap around behind us, up and over that left shoulder. Core is strong. Now you can stay right here. It's a great place to stay. If you like, begin to press your foot into the strap as you begin to extend that left arm. Hinging forward as much as you like. If you like, you can use both hands. Breathe. Again, working our way to the point where we can draw those hands down that strap, maybe to the point where we can reach around and take a hold of that left foot with that left hand, releasing that strap entirely. Again, may or may not happen today. Balance is a challenge, guys. It's never perfect, but it's worth it. And we slowly begin to rise. Again, shifting that strap back to that left shoulder and then gently bringing it back around to front. Release your foot. Go ahead and drop that strap off to the side. Big shoulder roll. Up and back to mountain. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. And again, sit it back to child's pose. Breathe. Take a moment, just check in. And let's slowly walk those hands up. So sometimes, the balance is a little bit off. Kind of check in. Is it weather? Is it something that you had to eat yesterday? Maybe you were off a little bit. Maybe you're off a little bit this morning. Have a sense of humor, you guys. Smile about it, laugh about it. Be like, okay, coming back to it another time. So using the block this time, we're going to help use it to strengthen. Okay, so rather than it being an assistance, it's actually going to be an intensification. So we're going to place that block right between the knees. And we want to squeeze that block, bringing the hands behind your thighs. We rock it back to our boat pose. So as we come into our boat pose, I want you to be mindful of your lower back, lifting the chest and drawing that belly button in. Now you might notice that if you lessen that intensity, oh, there goes the block, right? So we want to keep squeezing, and we're going to extend the arms if that's okay for your lower back. If you need that support, keep it. You can also bring your hands behind you for support. And we're going to extend. Right leg, keep squeezing that block, and bend that right knee. Left leg extends, keep squeezing that block, and bring it back. Both feet if it feels okay, and bring it back. Again, right and back. So if it doesn't feel great doing both legs at the same time, just hold your boat and bring it back. Both legs or hold. One more time. Right and down, left and down. Either hold boat or both and bring it down. So you keep with the knees or bring that block down to your feet. So those knees are going to stay hip width apart. Now we're not going to do one or the other, right? Because we dropped the block. So this time we're going to push it out, and we're going to go out and pull it in. Squeeze that block out and pull it in. So we're working those inner thighs. Out, you can just hold boat, and in. You can keep with that alternating of bending the knees and extending the legs with that block between your knees. Last one. And bring it in. Take a hold of that block. Butterfly. Soles of the feet together. Feet can be nice and close up towards you or far away. And just let your upper body sink. Breathe slow, steady breaths. And let's slowly roll it up, one vertebra at a time. Let's turn and face front once again, sitting cross-legged. Easy pose. We're going to take our block and we're going to make it to the tallest place, your book, whatever it is. And we're going to bring, this is going to be a little bit tricky to get it here. So holding that hand, breaking the wrist a little bit, and we're going to bring those forearms together and interlace your fingers. Now I want you to squeeze the elbows and lift those elbows up to about shoulder height. Breathe. So keeping those arms squeezing, extend the arms as much as you can, and then pull it back in. We're going to do our very best not to drop that book. Keeping those elbows squeezing and pull it back in. Squeeze. And back in, sitting tall, squeeze. And back in. So we are working the back of the shoulders. We are working the arms. We are working our lats. Staying strong through the belly. Now this time, open those hands. Don't interlace the fingers. And extend. A little harder to keep those elbows. Pressing into that block. And in 2 more times. You guys feeling a little bit of fatigue? Hopefully so. 1 more time. Extend it out. And pull it in. Once again, interlace those fingers. Glue those elbows against the block. And we lift and lower. Lift and lower. Squeeze those elbows. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So it's mobility through the shoulders, but yeah, it's strength. You guys, you feeling that yet? And lower. 2 more. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. And go ahead and release that block. Oh, shake out those arms. Breathe. Let's bring the hands down by your sides. We're done with those tools, guys. Set them off to the side. Bring those hands down by your side, and as you exhale, release the chin towards the chest. So that exercise we just did can sometimes cause a little bit of tension in that neck, so we want to let it go. Nice big deep breaths. Inhale, lift your head, and as you exhale, gently lean that right ear towards your right shoulder. And press that left palm towards the mat. That feels super good. Opening up that ear canal. Stretching through the neck and the shoulder, making sure you're still sitting up nice and tall. A little bit turn of the chin towards, oh yes, that right collarbone. You know how some days, it just is a much needed, holding a little bit more than typically. Maybe this is a spot where you always hold tension. Hopefully we can let some of that go. As you exhale, slowly turn your ear back towards the shoulder. And let's lift that head back to neutral. And as you exhale, lean that head to the left. Awesome work today, you guys. Hopefully that was kind of fun. Doing something different if you don't typically work with blocks or straps. Hopefully you learned something new. If you didn't learn something new, hopefully it just felt super good. And slowly begin to turn your chin towards that left collarbone, pressing that right palm towards the mat. Always my hope for you guys is to leave you feeling a little bit better than when you started, if not a whole lot better. Maybe to learn something new about yourself, about your body, something new about yoga or stretching. Gently turn that ear back towards the shoulder. And we lift. Bringing the hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. A gentle pull forward as the chin comes towards the chest and those elbows wrap around the ears. And as I took that big breath in, I could feel a little bit of pops, a little bit of cracks going down the spine. That felt pretty good. Inhale, lift the head, open those elbows wide. Let's gently release the back of the hands to the tops of the knees. Relax the weight of the arms. You're welcome to just rest your hands in your lap. We're going to take just a few moments to close our eyes. Full deep breaths in and out through the nose. And we take just a moment to thank the mind and the body for being willing participants in our well-being today. The gift of movement, you guys, amazing. We never take that for granted. It is a gift that we cherish each and every day. The ability to step on our mat, to spend some time, to tune out the rest of the world, and just help create the best version of ourselves that we can. Mentally, physically, emotionally. I celebrate you. I celebrate the power of movement and the power of breath. Let's gently open the eyes, pull those hands to heart center. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Be well, stay healthy, and until the next time, my friends, light and love to each and every one of you, each and every day. Namaste.